Evening, everybody. Duke here. So, Module 9 discussion video, we're supposed to go through all three questions, select the top three pieces of advice offered, and the top three worst pieces of advice offered in Chapter 13. Um, the top three I picked was mainly talking about adrenaline rush and what that does to a person, mainly with hand gestures, feet. I see a lot of people do that with their feet. Page 323 was talking about hand gestures and people doing a lot of hand gestures or just kind of messing around with their pen, pencil. Um, I'll talk about later about in one of my videos. I was doing this throughout the whole video. I'm sure that was annoying because it annoyed the poo out of me. Fillers. I just caught myself doing one of those. The other piece was eye contact on page 324, talking about people making eye contact, being able to engage with the audience that way. I kind of scan throughout when I'm giving presentations or I'm sitting in front of people doing some type because meetings. I kind of scan and try to engage with everybody, like hey, hey, and just kind of doing that piece with the eye contact. A lot of people tend to just be kind of looking down or they look at the corner of um, an office. So that can be a little distracting. I'm like, I'm having a conversation with you. Why are you looking up there? Is there a spider up there? I want to look what's up there. So, and then the top three worst pieces of advice, and I had to kind of comb through the whole entire chapter to find these. Um, right off the bat, PowerPoints. I have a huge thing against PowerPoints, but that's what the military uses a lot. So I just have a lot of bad experience with PowerPoints. People tend to just oversaturate PowerPoints with a lot of information, and the presenter or the person who's doing the speech is literally sitting there reading off of each PowerPoint. So it's either too much information and they're not practicing, whatever the case may be, it drives me absolutely up the walls. And that was on page 328. It does give some good advice. I felt like it was giving some good advice of using PowerPoints more of a outline and prompts. It's kind of something that I do. They also talked about Prezi, I don't know, some software that they use, um, kind of like a cloud in a sense. Not a huge fan of having to buy things or have a subscription to an app to do that. I think because of the book's age is it's a little outdated because now there's Google Docs out there that people use. I've used it before in a different class to organize a presentation. One of the things we use a lot at work are SharePoints, Microsoft Outlook, SharePoints, and just kind of Teams is another one that just came out because of this whole COVID thing. And then the third one was demonstrations, and the book didn't really talk about it too much, and that was on page 334. Um, occasional, occasionally, you will be asked to do presentations depending on what career field you're in. Uh, my one thing, it never mentioned that you should practice and possibly be proficient at what you're trying to do. You're the SME, is a subject matter expert, so you should be able to perform whatever demonstration is perfectly. If not, I mean, you're just gonna run into issues, and people are like, why are you even showing me this when you it's just a disaster happening time and time again. Question two: what are the benefits and drawbacks that outline in your speech? If you've outlined a presentation for examples in one of the videos and have presented without an outline or notes. So I've done videos where I don't have notes. I just kind of go off of what my experience has been through a lot of these communication um, videos. I go off a lot of what the book talks about it. So when the question pops up, I can just kind of go off of the top of my head. But I have had some that I do notes. I have notes and I have the citing the pages and so on and so forth. So there is a difference between the videos, and I can pick up on it. I'm sure many of you have picked up on that as well. I just kind of jump all over the place. I'm adding more content or more information to the video that usually to me is saying, hey, this guy is just kind of going off the cuff, opposed to having, A, B, and C. Here's all your talking points, and you're just gonna go through all of that, and that's just the end of it. So, some of the drawbacks of being too or, organized or practice too much is just having that monotone talk. It just sounds the same throughout the whole entire video. I've seen it in the military. People just don't really, they sound too robotic, right? And then 3, using the information presented on a chapter, discuss and be specific your best video discussion main post. So this one was a hard one for me. I think this one is the best one because I'm sporting out the stash. No, I'm joking. I know it's hideous. I'm about to take it off too. My wife agrees with that. The best video I came about was week 3, but it was really week 4, talking about verbal and nonverbals. You can actually see me going through different points. I had a script, kind of like the one I'm doing for this one. I had sources. I was citing pages, specifically things off the book. Some of the drawbacks of that video, I was playing with this iPod thing or headphones, but I was doing this. You can actually hear it on the back of that video, and it drove me absolutely nuts. And I was doing a lot of this with my hands. So I just try to improve it every single time, how to make a video better, presenting better. I take that opportunity to make myself better in a sense for videos, but also for speeches and even at work. I sit in front of a lot of meetings. I sit in front of a lot of people sometimes, and I gotta do mass briefs. So I try to improve it, and hopefully, 5, 10 years down the road, I'm a lot better than I am right now compared to what I was when I first started doing a lot of this stuff. But that's all I got, guys. Hope you have a good night.